Hello, Pisces. Man, it's almost your season. Almost your season, Pisces. Hope you guys are doing well. I know I rarely read you guys, too. I think I read you guys the least because I know you guys are like the ones that are probably the more responsible ones. Not saying you guys don't have your trials and tribulations, but like I worry about you guys the least compared to other signs. If you know what I'm saying. Still doesn't justify it though. I should give you guys more readings. All right, Pisces. Pisces, what is going on? Maybe I should be worrying about you guys after all. Nah. Okay. What? Okay. Everybody's getting 7-card readings, which is so weird. Look at all that red. Look at all that red, Pisces. Wow. The Empress, of course. Why not? Ooh, that's why. Because you got... Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, mackerel. No wonder you're in Empress mode right now. I feel like, Pisces, you're loving and nurturing yourself right now. And if you're not, you should be. But I feel like you are. The Empress is the mother of the deck. She's all 4 queens in one. And she is the nurturer, just the caretaker, basically. Planting seeds, helping things grow, helping people, loving people, nurturing people, taking care of people, protecting people. So that's who Pisces are. So you're playing you right now, which is great. I'm seeing underneath you though, ooh, massive, massive. You have the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, and the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself for a reason. There's been a lot of... I feel like you've been in this process of letting go of a lot of pain. A lot of pain. A lot of burdens. And you've really been either thinking about it or actually doing it. Because this is inside you, by the way. Needing to rest. Needing to relax. Needing to kind of just lay down and really just think about things. Because I just feel like there's this sense of abandonment here, a void, maybe, with the 5. The 5 is the deepest, and then you go to the 4. Man, it almost feels like a psychology lesson. I feel like something happened to you in your life, probably when you're a little younger, where there was some kind of abandonment or rejection that really caused a huge void in you, which is making you really realize now why you've been taking on all these burdens, on all these unnecessary burdens that you shouldn't be taking on, and dealing with a lot of people who are just not right for you in your life, and you're mentally like being triggered by these situations that you are putting yourself into, by the way. Everything is just a trigger here for you from the start, which I think we all have, Pisces. I'm not just saying it's just you guys, but yeah, there's some sense of just rejection or abandonment. Could have been parents or something like that. Maybe somebody. Well, I don't feel like maybe somebody passed away, but this is more of like a huge rejection. Could even be a first marriage, possibly. I don't know. But the 5 of Pentacles for me is somebody who has no self-worth. They have this huge void in them. They don't feel like they're good enough for some reason, usually. Mostly, almost usually. And I'm not an expert on these things. But when you feel like you have no self-worth, it's because somebody abandoned you or rejected you. Or you weren't good enough for somebody. So this is, I feel like it's kind of been on your mind lately of why these things have been happening taking on burdens, being in toxic relationships, taking care of people, doing things for people, and really just stressing you out to the max. I feel like you're just trying to, like a lot of us do, you know, when you have rejection and abandonment issues, Pisces, we try to be there for everybody else because we know what it's like for somebody not to be there for us, or we try to love everybody or accommodate everybody or people please everybody because we're trying to, you know, fill that void in ourselves. And I think you're acknowledging that, or you have been acknowledging that, because these burdens that you've taken on, these toxic relationships, whether with family, friends, or partners, even your own children perhaps, that you trickled down, more or less, like, or even maybe overworking at work, or giving it all, you're giving it all to something in your life or in different areas of your life where you're not getting, I don't want to say you're not getting it back, but it's just taking on too much. You're taking on too much and it's becoming a burden. And I think that with that being said, your mindset is triggered to, I'm doing everything for everybody and they don't appreciate me and they don't love me. These are all triggers from some childhood trauma you had or some early age trauma you had. And I feel like you'll be with the Four of Swords here. I feel like you've done some realization on that. I feel like you're kind of like realizing, you know, I put myself in this position, this position, this position, this position. I've done this and this and this and this, trying to fill this void. And in turn, I'm just using, you know, all this anger and hatred that I have from my past and trying to victimize myself with it. Because with the Ten of Swords, it's like, yeah, you've done all this for people. Not only have you done all this for people to fill some void and to feel validated, and to maybe even want to seek some attention, but you really just put a whole bunch of pressure on yourself until you're about to break. And that will in turn, I feel like, is making you victimize yourself to, oh, these people don't give a fuck about me, or this job doesn't care about me, or nobody cares about me. I'm just doing it all and nobody cares. You're victimizing yourself for the actions that you've done, from the things that have happened to you when you were younger. I feel like you're really, 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 that's why the Empress is here. Because you're starting to love yourself, you're starting to nurture yourself, you're starting to be your mother, in a sense, if that makes sense. I don't know the relationship with your mothers, guys. Not saying you have mommy issues, but I'm just saying you are giving yourself, and possibly your children, the love and the nurturing that you deserve and that you've needed all this time. So I really feel like you're... a lot. That was a lot, but that was good. I feel like you're acknowledging these things, which makes sense. It really makes sense why you're in this mode. I feel like you're, instead of helping other people to get all that, whatever you need from all that void you have from being younger, you're starting to love yourself now and putting yourself first. Not saying you're not loving and caring about your family, because the Empress is the mother, of course, but I feel like you're really nurturing yourself and you're loving yourself. You do have the Eight of Swords, the Strength card, the Two of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Two of Swords, the Justice, and the Ace of Swords. You got a lot of swords. I hate how it starts. I love how it ends. So very important that you listen to this, because the Eight of Swords is somebody who's trapped in their own mind. They don't want to have anything to do with anybody. They're in their own little bubble. They're in their own little pain. They're in their own little, oh, fuck everybody. I don't want to have anything to do with anybody. You have the strength to deal with that. I feel like you're taking time right now to deal with that. Because that's not who you are. Mentally, you might, I want to say feel that way, because your mind is not your emotions, okay? Your mind is a whole nother world. And this is your mind. I feel like you think this way. Like you think that you're alone and you don't want to have anything to do with anybody. Eight of Swords is somebody who's just trapping themselves from moving forward on their journey because they're just not in a good place mentally. They're just bullshitting themselves, spewing hate and negativity and deception. It's like your own demons whispering in your own ear. Well, why bother? Who cares? Don't even. No. Just stay right here. Let's be miserable. Like, That's what I feel like mentally you're at. But you have the strength to say, no, I want to move forward. I need to take time to heal. I need to take time to embrace where this thinking pattern is coming from and how to justify it and bring truth out of it. Because I see you doing that. I see you here at this threshold. You're content where you're at right now because I feel like you're doing a lot of self-work. You're showing up strong for yourself, taking control, taming this deceptive mental lion. And I do see you here very open to new things, trusting in your instincts. It's so interesting with the Two of Swords. That's somebody trapping themselves in their mind, but they trust in their instincts. And then you have the Justice next to it, who's also blindfolded. So basically, I feel like for you, it's like it's time for you to blindfold yourself and shut your mind down and trust in your instincts. Be real with yourself and be fair with yourself about all the situations that you've experienced or that are really detrimental to you. Because there's a lot of the past that I feel like you're trying to let go of, you're trying to heal, you're trying to end an old cycle. So it's like, be fair, be just, be honest, because it's not that sense of you're the victim and everybody was the bad guy. Everybody does their part in their life. Nobody's lived through life, Pisces, as the victim and everybody else is the bad guy. We all make mistakes, we all make decisions. And so I feel like that's you really coming to terms with things and how you view things. And kind of just being more just in situations. As to, like, say a marriage. Oh, well, she cheated on me, so it's her fault. Well, maybe you weren't there for her emotionally. You know what I mean? Maybe you were watching porn. These are just examples, by the way. I'm just saying, like, there's things that happen in life and people like to blame the other person. I just feel like this is you really taking time to get out of your mind where the victimism is and go into your soul, into your intuition and say, well, maybe this just didn't work out because it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe we were both toxic, or maybe maybe they couldn't be a good parent or whatever. I don't know. Something along those lines. You know what I mean, Pisces? So I just like being fair and just in certain situations and honest with yourself in certain situations that really affected you in life, and even your decisions that you've made that affected you in life. I really feel like you're open to seeing a more fair, truthful resolution to what past issues have been going on for you. The Ace of Swords was the last card. That is a new mental mindset. That is epiphanies. That is the aha moments. That is the ultimate truth. This is the lie we started off with, and you're ending up with the truth. And that's because you're seeing things for what it really is, not just making yourself the victim, which kind of has pretense through all these years from whatever stemmed of this rejection and abandonment issues that you have. You know, it's really beautiful. I really love this reading. I know it's a lot of psychology, but if you think about it with human beings, everything's psychology. So I just feel like you're in a great place to take control of your mind and be real with yourself and know that it's time for you to let the past go. Let the past go. Not get over it, just let it go and heal and know that you've learned from these situations. You're aware now, you're loving yourself, you're taking care of yourself. I feel like you've learned some things from the past that are going to help you move forward this year. And it's very vital that you do so, because if you move on every year just saying, oh, my wife cheated on me 13 years ago, or my brother, owes me $1,600 from 3 years ago, or my dad used to beat me when I was young because he's a drunk. I mean, taking that with you every year, what is going to happen? Nothing. So I feel like you are really realizing that. I do. I really feel like you're realizing that. It's time to let old things go. It's time to start focusing on you, loving you, having a new mental mindset, not holding grudges, not holding resentment. Things happened because they just happened and it was how it is. And that you're better off just being really open-minded about things instead of resentful and bitter. Because all you're doing is turning yourself into the people that may have caused you pain. So you're no different than them. And you're doing more damage to you than they ever did because you're living it every day. Does that make sense? But I feel like you're coming to terms with that. I really do. Love yourself, nurture yourself, care about yourself. Not just saying only you. I know you have your family and your friends and all that. That's great. But I just feel like you're loving yourself, you're nurturing yourself, you're giving yourself everything that you ever gave to everybody else. You're finally giving it to yourself. And that's what's really going to push you into this place of a better mindset. Okay? Yeah, because you're open to new possibilities, new things, new paths, new futures. But that Eight of Swords will hold you back. You have to close it out. You have to. Trust in your instincts, see things for what they were, accept things for what they were, and move forward. And most people will say it's not that easy. It actually is that easy. You just have to learn how to forgive. And I think that's probably one of life's toughest lessons for human beings for some reason, is to learn how to forgive. Even forgive yourself. But once you do, it's a lot lighter for you, you know.